We'll start by saying Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Homage to the sublime, the victorious, and the totally self-enlightened one. Okay, welcome everyone. Today we're going to continue with the Patana, and we're going to continue with the study of the Paccayaniddesa, which is in English translated as the analytical exposition of the conditions. And today we are going to start with the fourth condition, which is the Anantara Paccayo. In English, it's translated as the proximity condition. And this Anantara Paccayo, it's only referring to the mental process, actually. So it's called proximity, or sometimes it's called like adjunct. So something that is just right next to the other, no? In this case, talking about the chitta, one chitta that arises after another chitta. So the Paccaya is just right next to, very proximate, and proximity right next to the Paccayupana. Okay, we'll go into details, but let's look at the example first. The example given by ancient teachers for Anantara Paccayo is compared to the death of the king. So you see, when a king passes away, then he gives his son the chance to become a king. Right? So in the same way, by passing away, this condition, the Paccaya, gives chance for the next one to arise. So that is the simile being given by ancient teachers for Anantara condition. So it can, but this only applies to chittas and chittasikas, right? We're not talking about really people or beings here, no? So chittas and chittasikas. Okay, so let's see in details. Now, we all know that chitta and chittasika always arise together, but there is no two chitta that arise at the same time, right? One arises and then it must cease for another to arise. So one chitta at a time, one chitta arises, passes away, another chitta arises, passes away, then another chitta arises. So one after the other. So this Anantara meaning, exactly meaning this, one after another, one after another. Now, the first verse in the Paccayaniddesa, it goes, Cakkhu viññāna dhātu tam sampayutaka ca dhamma manno dhātu ya tam sampayutaka nan ca dhammanam anantara paccayena paccayo. So first it goes to the five sense consciousness. So here cakkhu viññāna dhātu, meaning the eye consciousness, right? Cakkhu viññāna. So cakkhu viññāna dhātu, again, remind everyone, when we see this word dhātu, that means two, no, the pair of the cakkhu viññāna. It can either be the kusala vipaka or it can be the akusala vipaka, right? So wholesome resultant eye consciousness or unwholesome resultant eye consciousness. Okay, so let's see. Cakkhu viññāna dhātu. So here, this eye consciousness, tam sampayutaka cha dhamma. That means those, together with those dhamma that arise together. And what are they? The chittasikas, no? The chittasikas that associate with this cakkhu viññāna. So cakkhu viññāna dhātu, as well as this tam sampayutaka anancha dhamma, the chittasika that arise together with cakkhu viññāna. And then what happened? Manno dhātu ya, manno dhātu. What is manno dhātu? Still remember? There are three consciousnesses that are called manno dhātu, yeah? So panchadvara vajana chitta, the five door averting consciousness, and the receiving consciousness, two receiving consciousness, right? Kusala vipaka, akusala vipaka, receiving consciousness is called manno dhātu. So here, manno dhātu tam sampayutaka nancha dhammanam. That means the manno dhātu together with the chittasika that arise together with the manno dhātu is the Paccayupana that is related to this cakkhu viññāna by way of proximity. That means in simple words, after Cakkhu Vijnana passes away, receiving consciousness arises. These two, the Cakkhu Vijnana and the receiving consciousness, are related to each other by way of Anantara Paccaya, proximity conditioned. Right? Okay, then the next verse it goes, Manodadu tam sampayutaka cha dhamma. So Manodadu, we're talking about this one, no? Because this verse continues here. So Manodadu, this receiving consciousness together with its associated cetasika, then which one follows? Mano Vijnana Dadu. Remember Mano Vijnana Dadu? Mano Vijnana Dadu are the 76 kinds of citta that exclude the Dvipancha Vijnana, the 10 five-sense consciousness, as well as the 3 Manodadu. So all the other ones are called Mano Vijnana Dadu. Yeah. So this investigating consciousness, Santirana Citta in Pali, Santirana Citta is one of the Mano Vijnana Dadu. Yeah. So here it refers to after receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness arises together with its associated cetasikas. So here in this verse, it actually wants to tell us in the mental process what follows what. Yeah, but it does not specifically tell or say the name of the citta. So we have to think a little bit. So it's a little bit like a puzzle, and we have to find out which one it is talking about. So very obviously, Cakkhu Vijnana, after Cakkhu Vijnana, which Manodadu, it cannot be Panchadwara Vajana Citta. It cannot be 5-door averting. It goes before, and also after it must be receiving consciousness. Then this receiving consciousness, Manodadu, after it what comes? Investigating consciousness, Mano Vijnana Dadu. So this Anantara proximity conditioned wants to explain that this citta must cease in order for the next one to arise, and what arises after Cakkhu Vijnana. And then this receiving consciousness, after it arises, it must cease before investigation consciousness arises. And which one follow which one? In this Anantara, it wants to explain this kind of relationship, because there is a law of nature, no? So we cannot jump. We cannot. There is an order for mind, for the mental process. So we cannot jump, say, 5-door averting consciousness and then jhavana and then the receiving. It cannot go that way because nature does not work like that. Yeah. So there is a specific order. Law of how citta arise, right? So it explains what follows what. Okay, so until here, all good? Yeah, not difficult to understand, right? Okay, so then in the Paccayaniddesa, the next verse, it goes to explain the next sense. So after Cakkhu Vijnana, then it goes to the next verse, which is Sota Vijnana. So Sota Vijnana Dadu Tam Sampayutaka Cha Dhamma. So ear consciousness. Ear consciousness arises basically in the same place. No, it's not that it's a different mental process, but it's arises in the same location. Let's say, well, same location. I mean, after the 5-door averting consciousness and before the receiving consciousness, right? So it's basically same thing, but now it's ear consciousness. So after ear consciousness, Manodadu together with its associated cetasika arise, right? So receiving consciousness. So this first verse, Sota Vijnana Dadu, together with its related cetasika, is related to the Manodadu, here receiving consciousness with its associated cetasika by way of proximity conditioned. So this proximity condition is important because it wants to emphasize that there is nothing else between these two citta. So one citta arises, passes away, and immediately the next citta that corresponding to this mental process arises immediately after it. There is nothing in between two citta. So one arises and then the other goes away, and then one arises, passes away, and then the other arises, passes away, and then the other arises and passes away, like that. So this also dispels the idea, especially after Chuti citta. This dispel the idea that after the Chuti citta arises, then something happened, then there's a bardo, or there is something happened there before the Patisandhi citta arises, but before the rebirth consciousness. No, it wants to, this Chuti citta and the Patisandhi citta is also Anantara conditioned. So one after the other, immediately. There is no gap in between these two. They are very proximate, very, very close together. As soon as Chuticita passes away, Patisandicita arise, right? So this is Anantara Paccaya. And then the verse continue, Manodadu Tam Sampayutta Kacha Dhamma. So meaning here, we're talking about this receiving consciousness together with its Cetasika. It's conditioning what? Like what follows? What is the proximity conditioning? The next one, that is the investigating consciousness. Mano Vijnana Dhatu, together, Tam Sampayutta Kacha Dhamma, together with its associated Cetasika. They are related by way of proximity, yeah, proximity condition. Okay, so up to here, all good? Yeah, all good. Okay, so in the Paccayaniddesa, like in the same way, it goes to all the five senses. Then it goes to the nose consciousness, following by receiving consciousness, then following by investigating consciousness, and then it goes to the taste, and then it goes to the body. So the five senses, it goes in the same way. So here I'm not going to repeat because it's just the same. No, as we understand eye consciousness, then we should understand the other senses as well, because the five sense door process is all the same. Yeah, so we'll skip the other senses and we'll go to the next verse. Okay. Yeah, but in the Paccayaniddesa, so it does mention everything, all the senses. Yeah, but we'll skip that. Okay, let's go to the next. So after the body consciousness, now after that, then it goes to the next verse. It says, Purima kusala dhamma pachimanam kusalanam dhammanam anantara paccayena paccayo. Okay, Purima means preceding, or the one before, no? Preceding. Again, we will repeat Purima in Pali. When the same word repeats two times, it means emphasize only. It does not mean previous. So it's not like two before, but it's just to emphasize the preceding one. Okay, so Purima kusala dhamma. So that means the preceding wholesome consciousness, together with its associated cetasikas, yeah? Then pachimanam kusaranam dhammanam. Pachimanam meaning the following one. Then the following, again, emphasize, pachimanam, following by one kusala, by another kusala chitta, by way of proximity, no? So they are very close to one another. So one kusala, then after another kusala arise. Okay, so little quiz. Where can this happen in the mental process?
Jhavana.
Yes, right. Thank you, Edith. Right. So kusala chitta, if we look at this mental process, where can the kusala arise? Only in the jhavana moments. No, all the other all these ones are not kusala nor akusala. No, they are vipaka or they are kriya. No, right. So kusala, say this kusala, and then the next one, where can it follow? The next jhavana, right? Because we know that in one mental process, all the 7 jhavanas, in this case, in this idol mental process, they must all be the same type of chitta, not same chitta, but same type of chitta, right? So this kusala, if this is a kusala, then another kusala follows, right? So that's why Purima kusala dhamma, pachimana kusala dhammanam. So that means that this jhavana and this jhavana, they are both kusala in this case, for example, then they are related to each other by way of proximity. No? Yeah, so we can also understand that this kusala and after this should be kusala as well, right? And this after this should be kusala as well. All this should be kusala, this should be kusala, this also should be kusala, yeah? So all this we can apply, we can move these arrows to the next one also. Is the same verse. Preceding kusala dhamma is related to the following kusala dhamma by way of proximity. Yeah, okay. So let's go to the next verse. The next one, it goes, Purima kusala dhamma patimana abhyagatanam dhammanam anantara paccayena paccayo. Remember what is abhyagata? Neither kusala nor akusala, no? So if it is neither kusala nor akusala, then what are they? In terms of chitta?
Resultants.
Resultants, yes. And
Kriya.
Kriya, right? Kriya. So it can be functional chitta, or remember, we can classify chittas into 4 types. Kusala, wholesome chittas, unwholesome chittas, kriya chittas, functional chittas, as well as resultant consciousness, no? So 4 types. So kusala and akusala can only happen in the jhavana moments, no? As we all know. Then this abhyagata, in terms of, we're only talking about chitta and cetasika, because abhyagata, this term, in English translated as indeterminate, meaning neither kusala nor akusala. So it can be resultant consciousness, can be kriya, functional consciousness. It can also be nibbana. It's also neither kusala nor akusala. It can also be rupa also, no? Because material property are also neither kusala nor akusala, right? But here, since about Anantara, proximity condition, we are only talking about chitta and cetasika. So we forget about the object nibbana, and we also forget about rupa here. So only chitta. Only chitta. In case only chitta, abhyagata refers to either resultant consciousness or functional consciousness. Because these 2 types of consciousness, they are neither kusala nor akusala, right? Okay? Yeah, clear? Okay, so let's see. Quiz time. Purima kusala dhamma. So the preceding kusala dhamma is related to the next one. The following one is an abhyagata dhamma by way of proximity. So that means this abhyagata, this either resultant or functional, follows a kusala. Where can this happen?
Tadaramana.
In Tadaramana. Very good. Yes, thank you, Edith. Okay, so let's say in this mental process, the last jhavana is a kusala chitta, no? But the following one, Tadaramana, is what? Is a resultant consciousness, right? Is a vipaka chitta. So in this case, it is not kusala anymore. So this pachimanam abhyagatanam dhammanam. So that means it's referring to this after jhavana, Tadaramana, right? So vipaka chitta here. Okay, so in this Anantara Paccaya, in the Paccayaniddesa, it explains to us in another way what we already have learned in chapter 4, the mental processes, what chitta follows, what chitta, no? What arises after what. So for example, here we have already seen after Chakku Vijnana, then Manodhatu, which is receiving consciousness, arise. After the receiving consciousness, what? Investigating consciousness is a mano-vijnana dhatu, no? Okay, then this kusala can follow another. And after kusala, what other possibility? Vipaka chitta can follow because it's a tadaramana, right? Now here, there are a lot of possibilities. We can think about them. Here, I cannot explain every single possibility, but we know what it's talking about indeterminate, following, and kusala, no? So for example, you remember there are mental processes that does not have tadaramana, right? No tadaramana does not arise. Then what immediately follow? Bhavanga, yeah? Bhavanga chitta. Then bhavanga chitta is what? Vipaka, no? It's also resultant consciousness, right? Also vipaka. So it can also apply to kusala. After kusala, immediately bhavanga, also possible. For the mental process that does not have tadaramana, then when tadaramana does not arise, right? Tadaramana arise only with the 5 sense object, and when the object is very strong, only that time, no? So sometimes in some mental processes, they do not arise. So it is also another possibility. So with this, we can think about the mental processes, what can follow what, and which one in which case, and we can think about it by ourselves, yeah? Okay, until here, all good? Yeah, okay. All right. So let's go to the next verse and see what's next. Purima akusala dhamma pachimanam akusala dhammanam anantara paccayo. Okay, quiz time. For those who haven't answered anything, where can this happen? Jhavana, thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, again in Jhavana moment, basically same thing, no? So if this mental process, well, we saw something and we react to it with a kusala or with akusala mind. Yeah. So in this case, javana akusala. Then which one follows? Another akusala will follow, no? Because in the same mental process, all javana must be the same type of chitta. So thank you, Sanda. So akusala and akusala, next one, right? So here it's talking about this javana and the following javana, both akusala, they are related by way of proximity. Anantara paccaya. Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. Purima akusala dhamma patimana abhyagatanam dhammanam anantara paccayena paccayo. Where?
Tadaramana or
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Sanda. So yes, after an akusala, where what can happen? So tadaramana, no? In this case, abhyagata, indeterminate, because tadaramana is a vipaka chitta, no? It's a resultant consciousness. Again, same. Another example, if tadaramana does not arise, bhavanga also possible here, no? So because it is also a vipaka chitta, so the indeterminate possible. Okay. So we see the verse and then we try to find out where. Let's go to the next verse. Purima abhyagata dhamma pacimana abhyagatanam dhammanam anantara paccayena paccayo. Quiz time.
Tadaramana.
Yes,
Chitta?
two tadaramana. No, possible. No, thank you, Claudia. So two of them, both of them are abhyagata, right? Okay. Someone else. Another possibility.
Also the bhavangas. The bhavangas.
The bhavangas, right. Okay, bhavangas also possible. Abhyagata, possible. Okay, more possibilities. Someone else?
SP and ST, I don't know how to.
Okay, yeah. Receiving consciousness and investigating consciousness. Right, thank you. Sanda, very well, very good. So this one is a what? Resultant, and investigating also resultant. So here also investigating and receiving and investigating also possible. Okay, more possibilities. Think about it.
Can there in Javana also be?
Cool. Yes, Javana also possible.
Arahantship only.
Yay, very good, Sanda. Yes. So for another hand, the Javanas will be Kriya Chitta, no? So in this case, also Javana, after another Javana, also Kriya is also possible. Yes? Okay, good. More possibilities. Where else? Yeah, Bhavanga already mentioned. Tadaramana already mentioned. Here also already mentioned. Well, actually here also, no. Here also possible. Here also possible. Yeah, so many possibilities here. Okay, even if we are talking about the Kriya Chitta for the Arahant, after that, if Tadaramana arise or Bhavanga arise, it's also possible, right? So here also possible. So there are a lot of possibilities for this one, for the Abhyagata, following an Abhyagata by proximity. So thank you so much, everyone. It is very good that we are thinking about different possibilities because we are now understanding and we are making use of all the knowledge that we have gained in the previous chapter, knowing which type of chittas, what are they are kusala or they are akusala, whether this is possible in this way or whether this is not possible in this way, no? Okay, now another possibility here also, special cases. Let's see, how about in the Magga mental process? In the path mental process, when a person becomes an Arahant, remember, after in the Javana process, Parikama, Upachara, Anuloma, Gotrabhu, Magga, and then Phala, no? Here. So only in this case, all the Javanas, they are different, a little bit different. But in this case, also two Phalas, one after another, right? So Phala is Vipaka Chitta also. Right? So in this case, it's also possible, abhyagata, right? Okay, so for this abhyagata, indeterminate, following an indeterminate, there is a lot of possibility. Even after this phala, this bhavanga is also possible, yeah? This magga is a kusala, so it is lokutara chitta, so it's a little bit different, and it does not apply here. Okay, but even in phala samapati, if a person already reached the let's say the first Magga, and later on he or she wants to experience Nibbana again, it is also possible, no? So they meditate, they practiced, and then when they attain the Phala Samapatti process, then there will be a lot of Phala that will arise continuously for as long as he or she wish to stay with the Nibbana object, right? So all these Phala also is Abhyagata also, no? So there are so many different possibilities here. And it is very good that we can think about it, then which one, if we know the previous chapters well, then we know which chitta follows which chitta according to the different mental processes. No? So these are only examples, there are many possibilities. Okay, thank you very much everyone for your participation, and all together we can think and we can revise and remember the mental processes that we have already studied previously. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Now it goes, Purima abhyagata dhamma pachimanam kusalanam dhammanam. Forget about this one first because the next verse goes akusala, so I put them together, but one by one, no? Kusalanam dhammanam anantara pachayena pachayo. Okay, so akusala follows an abhyagata. Where?
Adverting consciousness?
Averting consciousness, this one?
No, the mano.
Manodo arawajana, mind or
Vara.
averting consciousness, right?
Yes, and the other one, the votaba.
The Vatabana, yes, thank you. Okay, so this one, the Vatabana Chitta, determining consciousness in the five sense door process, and the mind door averting consciousness if it is a mind door process, no? So this is what it is a Kriya Chitta, no? It's a functional consciousness. Then it can follow by what? It can be followed by kusala or akusala. So Javana is coming, right? So here, purima abhyagata dhamma pachimanam kusalanam or akusalanam dhammanam. They are related to each other by way of proximity. So we're talking about here in this place, right? Okay, yeah. So until here, then we have seen the different possibilities. It has explained that it is possible that kusala follow kusala, akusala follow akusala, akusala followed by indeterminate, kusala followed by indeterminate, or indeterminate followed by indeterminate, no? And here also, indeterminate followed by kusala or akusala, right? So all the different possibilities that we have seen in this proximity conditioned. Okay, then the next verse goes, Yesam dhammanam anantara, ye dhamma upachanti chitasika dhamma. Okay, first part, yesam dhammanam anantara. That means the preceding chitta and chitasika. It can be anything, no? Anything. Preceding chitasika. Ye dhamma upachanti. There's some kind of other dhamma is going to arise. What is it? Chitta and chitasika dhamma. The following ones, no? So any chitta that arises will be followed by another chitta, the following chitta. The preceding chitta is followed by the following chitta by way of proximity conditioned. So one chitta arises, passes away, and then another chitta arises, passes away. No? So Anantara, proximity condition, it wants to emphasize that after one chitta, another chitta will arise, not a rupa or not something else, no? So one chitta arises and another chitta will arise. It follows and it talks about the mental process, how it arises one after the other, yeah? Okay, it says, te dhamma tesam dhammanam anantara pachayena pachayo. So that means preceding dhamma and the following dhamma, they are related by way of proximity conditioned. But here, there is one exception. Anyone knows what chitta arises and after it is not followed by any chitta?
The death, the parinibbana moment.
Right, yes. So we have to exclude here the arahata chuti chitta. Except this, because after an arahant passes away, after the arahant Chuti Chitta, there is no more rebirth for the Arahant, no? But what needs to be done has been done. A holy life has been lived. So there is no more rebirth. He's not coming back to the samsara anymore. So in this case, for a person that is fully enlightened, after the death consciousness arises, there will be no more patisandhi. So in this case, the Arahata Chuti Chitta should be excluded from the Paccaya side, because it does not condition for any other chitta to follow. But we do not exclude Arahata Chuti Chitta in the Paccayupanasai. Why? Because before it, something arises, no? So something still arises, conditioning the Arahata Chuti Chitta to arise, proximity, no? Before it, there is still another chitta. So we only exclude the Arahata, death consciousness, from the Paccaya side, but not from the Paccayupanasai. Okay? So Paccayupanasai, basically everything, all kinds of chittas follow some other chitta. No? And all kinds of chittas also is, besides this one, is also followed by another chitta. No? So like that. Okay, so some of you may have a question about how about Nirodha Samapatti? So in the fourth Arupa Jhana, an Anagami or an Arahant, if they wish, they can attain the Nirodha Samapatti, no? That's in English is called the attainment of the cessation process. No chitta will arise at all for some time, no? So that's like for an Anagami or for an Arahant, it's like a rest for them. The body is still alive. There will be no chittaja rupa, of course, no mind-produced matter, but karma-produced matter will still be there. So the person is still alive, but for some moment, they really get to take a peaceful rest because there is no constant arising and passing, which is dukkha, no? Yeah. So how about that? After jhana, then no mind will arise. But when the person, he decides to come out from this samapatti, from this cessation process, then what happens is that then one phala chitta will arise, and then bhavanga will arise, and then all the other usual mental processes will arise. For example, if the Arahat or the Anagami opens the eyes and sees something, then maybe idle mental process can arise. Those usual mental process will arise. But during this time, there is nothing. So what about this case? What do you think? Here, after this jhana, although there is a time gap, say 3 days, for example, there's a time gap, but after this is jhana, the next chitta that is arise is the phala chitta. So in this case, this jhana and this phala, they are also related by Anantara conditioned, although there's a time gap. But because in between them, nothing arose at all. No? So they are still one next to each other. When he or she come out from this cessation process, then this phala must follow. So this is also Anantara conditioned. All right. So until here, we have seen all the different verses in the Paccayaniddesa concerning Anantara Paccayo. So we will go to the next one, which is called the Samanantara Paccaya, contiguity conditioned. Now this one is actually, in terms of content, is exactly the same as Anantara Paccayo. But because this is such an important idea or important fact that the Buddha wants to emphasize, that what chitta arises after what chitta, and there is absolutely nothing in between the two chittas. It is repeated one more time with a different name, Samanantara. So it's translated as contiguity, so continue one after the other, or proximity. Basically, they are talking about the same thing, which is very, very closely together. There's absolutely nothing in between them. And the example being given by ancient teachers, it is compared to the renunciation of the king. So the king renounced and went to the forest and became a monk. Right? So the son, the prince, now have the chance to become the king. So in the same way, one chitta arises and passes away, it gives chance for the next chitta to arise. No? So Anantara and Samanantara, basically, they are the same. So all the verses also first goes to the five senses, then it goes to the purima, kusala dhamma, pachimanam, kusalanam dhammanam. So all same, except it is samanantara paccayena paccayo. No? So in this contiguity condition, we can understand that it is the paccaya exactly is the same, the preceding chitta conditions the following chitta by way of contiguity, samanantara conditioned, except arahata chuti chitta. So basically it's the same. Okay, so anantara, samanantara, same one. Then we have finished also with number 5. Yes, Edith?
So this is not a different condition, basically. In reality,
basically, we can understand it to be the same. We will find a few like this in the 24 conditions, actually. Somebody will understand the condition if you say it in one way, and some understanding it better in another way. So the Buddha said it in both ways. So there is no doubt at all about it. For example, this one is not so like very close to each other, and another one, and no gap between each other, let's say. Yeah, so we think the same thing, but in a different word, but it's the same.
I don't know. It just seems weird that we have 24 conditions, but there are like repeating ones. I tend to think that it has to be like a slight difference, but they are pretty closely. I mean, for some reason, I think that it has to mean something, that they are have the different name basically, and like part of the 24, and it's not taken into one condition only.
Yes, how my teacher explained is that the Buddha explained it in this way because some people understand it better in this way and some people understand it better in another way. And to include all, then he put it, explained it in this way, but they are basically the same. That's how my teacher explained. For example, there is another condition, which is, again, it is very similar. The one that it says that being here and not disappearing, no? Being present and not disappearing is the same thing. But some people understand being here is very strong for them. Being here, wow, it must be here, no? So they understand this very well. But some other people understand it more, but it feels more stronger to them if we say that it does not disappear, right? So it does not disappear, and being here is the same thing. Yeah, just saying it in other words. So by not disappearing, it supports, or by being here, it supports. Yeah, so because different people have different tendency, and so some words strike the person stronger. Like for us also, no, sometimes we hear things said in a different way, but it strikes us in a different degree. No? Yeah, so because of that, this is how my teacher explained. Because of that, the Buddha used 2 different words to explain about basically the same phenomenon, same thing. So, but if you think that there can be other different ideas, you can, of course, maybe ask other teachers. And if you find out some different answer, please share with us too. Okay. All right. So let's see. Until here, all good? Yes, Sanda?
I also have some questions, but for the slide, 5 slides before.
Back?
Here,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, here it is. Okay. So actually, all these chitas are either abhyakata or kusala or akusala.
Exactly.
And kusala and akusala can be only javata. So that means that all the others are in the relation of abhyakata, and abhyakata can be functional and resultant.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Your understanding is exactly right, very correct, because only javana moments, akusala and kusala can only happen here. It cannot happen in other places, right? So all the other than javana, they are abhyagata, basically, all of them. Yes, Edith?
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanda.
Okay. I also had previously a Pali question about the words yesang and tesang. For some reason, I thought that tesang was also previous. And you said here yesang is also the previous one. So I was just confused about the prefix.
Yesam dhammanam anantara ye dhamma upajanti chitta chitasika dhamma. If you see the English translation, it says in contiguity to any preceding states, yesam. And then this dhamma, this subsequent states, these states, it actually doesn't say the preceding, the word exactly purima and pachimana is not mentioned. But we understand, we have to understand it. They say yesam in contiguity to any preceding states. These are the states, this dhamma, which dhamma, chitta and chittasika, arises, right? Then te dhamma, te means those. So te dhamma, those states are related to tesam, those are the states by way of contiguity condition. But it's just that this is related to that, or those related to those, yeah. But we have to understand that it is talking about the preceding and the subsequent, or the following one, no? Although the Pachimana and Purima is not mentioned. So that's why in the English translation is in bracket here, the preceding and subsequent. But this ye and te is only just this and those. Ye means this and te means those.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So that's about the Anantara and the Samanantara. Okay, so how about we take a 5 minutes break before we continue with another one? Yeah. Okay, so we'll see you in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. So far, all good. All good? Yeah. Yeah, basically, these are the things that we have already learned in previous chapter. Now we are just putting them everything together, and the Buddha explained about how things are related to each other. No? So by way of these 24 different conditions. Okay, so far we have seen 5 different conditions. Now let's go to the next one. The next one is the Sahajāta condition. So Conascence condition translated in English. So Saha means together, Jata, Jati, to born or arise, no, something that arise together. So that means here the Paccaya and the Paccayuppana arise together at the same time. Now, the example being given by the teacher is like a lamp. So when there is a flame, there is light, right? The flame is a conditioning state for the light to be there. Without the flame, there will be no light. But flame and light, they exist at the same time. In the same way, now the Paccaya and the Paccayuppana that we are going to look at, they arise at the same time. But one is the conditioned and one is the conditioned states. No, one is the conditioning, the Paccaya, the other the Paccayuppana, but they both arise at the same time. So this is called the Sahajāta condition. So let's see what are those Paccayas and the Paccayuppanas in this condition. Okay, so the first verse, it goes, Chataro kanda arupino Aññamañña Sahajāta Paccayena Paccayo. Now, Chataro kanda. Now, remember the 5 khandas, the 5 aggregates. 5 khandas, 5 aggregates. What are they? Anyone? Someone can remind me? 5 aggregates. What are they?
Consciousness, perception, feeling, and sankharas.
Mental formations.
Yes, mental formation.
And form.
And form and metta,
Yeah, form.
rupa. Yeah, thank you, Edith and Sanda. So we have 5 khandas. 4 of them are mind, and one is metta, right? So the mind, the four, they are consciousness, vedana, sanya, and sankhara, no? So mental feeling, and then we have the perception, and then we have sankhara, which refers to the 50 cetasikas other than vedana and sanya, right? So all the chitta and cetasikas basically, no? And then we have one that is rupa, material form, yeah? So now here, when we say chataro means four. Kanda, arupino, rupa is metta, no? Arupa, that means non-metta, no? So here we want to say four immaterial aggregates. The four aggregates are not the material, so meaning chitta and cettasika, right? Aññamañña, Sahajāta, Paccayana, Paccayo. Now here, the important word we have to see also is Aññamañña. Aññamañña means mutually. So both sides, not just one side, no, but together both sides, mutually. Sahajāta, Paccayana, Paccayo. So now we see the four immaterial aggregates are mutually related to each other, to one another, by way of conascence condition. So let's say if in the Paccaya side, if we take chitta, all kinds of consciousness, then the other three, kanda, arupino, so that means the vedana, sanya, and the sankhara, that means all cetasikas, no? All cetasikas. Now here, please understand that it is not all cetasikas here. It's just like a graphic representation of cetasikas, no? But it's not all of them, okay? So if we take the Paccaya to be chitta, then all the other cetasikas are the Paccayuppana here. But they are Aññamañña, no? They are Aññamañña. So that means the chitta is related to all the other cetasikas by way of Sahajāta, conascence. So that means Aññamañña means mutually. So it can exchange place too. So cetasika can be the Paccaya and chitta can be the Paccayuppana, because one it supports the other and the other also supports the other, no? So mutually, both sides, yeah? So Aññamañña in this way. And then we can also understand if we take another kanda, let's say vedana. If we take vedana to be the Paccaya, then the Paccayuppana will be the other three, chitta, and then the other cetasikas as well as sanya, no? So because they are Aññamañña, then it can also be chitta and other cetasikas conditioning vedana, also possible, no? So, or it can be sanya, another kanda, to then the Paccayuppana will be chitta and other cetasikas, because it is Aññamañña, so it can flip place also. So when you see Aññamañña, that means Paccaya condition, the conditioned sign of Paccaya condition Paccayuppana. But if they are Aññamañña, that means the Paccayuppana can also be the Paccaya conditioning the previously it was a Paccaya, no? So we just understand that they are mutual here. Okay, so here we see Chataro, Kanda, Arupino. The four immaterial aggregates are mutually Aññamañña related to each other by way of arising together. So these chitta and cetasika, they always arise together, no? So they support each other, or they condition each other by way of arising together at the same time. Okay, so let's see the next verse. The next verse is also easy to understand. Chataro mahabhuta Aññamañña Sahajāta Paccayana Paccayo. Chataro mahabhuta. Mahabhuta, you remember, that's that out of the four great elements. Earth, water, fire, and wind element, no? So we see these four great elements, Aññamañña. They mutually condition each other by way of arising together. So these four, they always arise together. In any kind of material property, there must always be these four elements, no? Plus something else, no? Any kalapa that arises must always have the four great element plus other different types of matter. That sometimes can be more, sometimes can be less. It depends on the different kinds of kalapa that we have studied already in chapter 6. So in this way, we understand that the four mahabhuta, they mutually support each other. So we understand that if we take earth element to be the Paccaya, then the other three will be the Paccayuppana. Or if we take water element to be the Paccaya, then the other three would be the Paccayupana. In the same way, because they mutually support each other, so they can all flip place in this case, or even 3 to 1, 2 to 2 to 2, like that. So it depends on how we take which one to be Paccaya and then which one to be Paccayupana, because they Aññamañña, then they can, all of them can be the conditioning state, conditioning the other ones. Different combinations, it is all possible since they are mutual. Yeah. Okay, so the second verse, the 4 great elements mutually condition each other by way of arising together. So we know Chitta and Cetasika always arise together, and the 4 great elements also always arise together. That's for sure, no? Okay, so let's see what is the next verse. Now, the next verse is something that is not all the time. Let's see. Okantikane nama rupam Aññamañña Sahajāta Paccayena Paccayo. Okantikane means at the moment of conception, or patisandhi time, no? Rebirth moment. Now we're talking about 5 aggregate beings first. Now let's take just beings that have both the mind and matter, yeah? So, Okantikane nama rupa Aññamañña. So mind and matter, they are mutually related to each other by way of Sahajāta, arising together, no co-nascence conditioned. In rebirth moment for 5 aggregates beings, what happened? The Vipaka Chitta, the Patisandhi Chitta together with the associated Cetasikas, as well as the Kamaja Rupa, they all arise together at the same time, right? In the rebirth moment. So all these 3, they are related to each other by way of arising together. But here you see Nama and Rupa mutually, Aññamañña also, Aññamañña. So in this case, this Kamaja Rupa, only in this very special moment, in the conception time, or in the rebirth time, or Kantikane, Nama and Rupa, they mutually relate to each other. So that means this Rupa, precisely, we are actually talking about the Hadayawatu here. Right? Remember the heart base is a condition that supports this Patisandhi Chitta to arise only in this very special moment, no? Or in the rebirth moment. So they arise together at the same time. Yeah. So obviously, we talk about Kamaja Rupa here, referring to the Hadayawatu, the heart base, not referring to, let's say, the body base or like that, because those are the bases, or the gender matter. Those gender matter is not conditioned, although it arises together, but it's not a condition for this Patisandhi Chitta to arise, right? So here precisely we are talking about the Vipaka, the Patisandhi Chitta Cetasika, and the heart base, Kamaja Rupa. They arise all together at the same time. So they are mutually related to each other by way of arising together. Okay, so let's, yes, Claudia?
Can you please briefly repeat for me the meaning of the heart base? Because I don't remember. For me, it's very difficult to understand this concept.
Yeah, heart base. Now, I'm sorry that I used this icon that can be confusing because it is like a heart organ here, no? Or we all understand that the heart organ is not yet developed in a baby. No, I mean in this little cell that just arose in the mother's womb, there is no heart organ there, but there is something that is called a heart base. And what is the heart base? Now in the Abhidhamma, it is explained that there is a type of material property that Chitta depends on this material property that it arises. For example, when we say eye consciousness arises depending on eye sensitivity, yeah? Without eye sensitivity, without eye consciousness cannot arise. Now, for someone that is blind, let's say, no eye sensitivity, no this material property there, then he or she cannot see, right? So eye consciousness depends on some kind of material property in the eye, yeah? Ear consciousness depends on another material property that is called ear sensitivity in the ear, right? So in the same way, other chitta that is not the 5 senses, yeah, that is not the 5 senses, other chittas they also need to depend, for 5 aggregate being, they also need to depend on some kind of material property for it to arise. Now, our teacher says that this material property locates in the bloodstream around the heart area for a human being, yeah, or for 5 aggregate being. So therefore, some teacher have called it the heart base because it's located around that area, but it's not the heart organ, not the heart itself. They said that it is some bloodstream, the blood in the heart, around the heart area. This material is based there, and that is the base for other types of chittas to arise. But the Buddha did not exactly mention the word heart. But sometimes we understand teachers, why they say it hard, because we can know sometimes like our feelings or emotions, sometimes we feel it here, no? Sometimes, right? When we get angry or when we get excited or something, so we feel something in the chest area. So and also sometimes we describe like, oh, this person, he or she is very kind-hearted. Yeah. But it does not mean that his heart is something, not the heart organ. We're not talking about the heart organ. He's very kind-hearted. Yeah. So somehow we relate the heart to some of our feelings, of our emotions, or something like that. So some ancient teachers, they related this material property, they named it the heart base, the Hadaya Watu. But it's actually the Buddha only mentioned some kind of material property located around that area is the base for other types of chittas, other than the 5 sense chittas, to arise. That's heart base. Yes, Claudia?
Can I, yes, I understood now. But can I ask you something else?
Mm-hmm.
Like the quality of this matter is established when at the moment of conception.
Yes.
And then these ones stay the same for the whole life?
If you meaning the same type of material property, then yes, same type of material property. And this heart base, or even eye base, ear base, nose base, they are all kamaja rupa. So they are result from our past karma. Yeah. So some people, they born and they have very good eyes. The eye see very clearly. Some people, they born, the eye is sometimes weak. They need to use glasses or they don't see very well. Or yeah. So this eye sensitivity, the quality of the eye sensitivity itself can differ depending on the karma of the person. The karma that produced this life, no, then how much it supports how good this material property is, no. So that depends on karma, because they are karma produced matter, and they are of the same type, but not the same one, because all matter arises and passes away, and it keep producing. No, karma keep producing this kind of hadaya heart base, the material property inside us. Karma, as long as the karma supports this life, it will continue producing, just like the eye sensitivity, ear sensitivity, in the same way.
Thank you very much. I understood now. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Yes, Sanda.
It's a continuation of Claudia's question. Does that mean, that the heart base being a material thing, a form thing, is it a kind of link between form and mind, between body and mind? I mean, if it is the base for chitta to arise.
Yes, in a way it is a condition. In the same way, we understand how eye consciousness arises based on the eye. Without that, it is not possible to arise, right? No eye consciousness. No nose consciousness, no? So in the same way, we can understand that without heart, for 5 aggregate beings, without heart base, also chitta cannot arise. So there must be this kind of material property there for any chitta to arise. I mean, any other chitta other than the 5 sense. consciousness. But this heart, again, remember, this is not, we're not talking about the heart organ, yeah? Because then some people say that, oh, how about then I have a heart operation that replaced the heart with something else, then I became another person. No, it's not that, no? Like, or the consciousness cannot be exchanged or something. So it's just the blood that is, that arise, some kind of matter that arise in that area. Because the Buddha did not specifically, anatomically tell us which matter that exactly is.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Yes, Claudia?
Yes, so this one, the heart base is the first matter that is manifesting in a being with the five senses, before than anything, before than here consciousness.
If you go now, yes, now in the moment of Patisandhi, let's say take a human being, because we understand human being as human, yeah? So for a human being, in the rebirth moment, in the very first moment of the Patisandhi, 3 types of material property arise together with this Patisandhi chitta. You can go back to the previous chapter that we have talked about this, and you can take a look at the graphics and the notes. There are 3 types, 3 kalapas, that are composed of 10 types of material property. Now, the first one is, the first group is the heart-based heart group, so the Hadaya Kalapa, Hadaya Dasaka, and then we have the Kaya Dasaka, the body decade, the body Kalapa, as well as the gender Kalapa. So if it is a, let's say human being, a boy or a girl, then in that very first Patisandhi moment, it's already, that matter is already there. So these 3 types is the 3 that arise together in the Patisandhi moment. Then after that, then other matters also start arising slowly, later. And the eye also, then the ear senses, and the nose, and other material properties also start arising.
Thank you very much for repeating for me.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now here we see that for in the Patisandhi moment, mind and matter, it is actually the only moment that mind and matter, they mutually they support each other, because usually heart base, they arise before the chitta arise. No, so in the Patisandhi moment, they all arise together, and this Patisandhi chitta rely on this heart base that arises at this moment. But during lifetime, the other chittas that arise based on heart base relied on a heart base that has already arisen before that chitta. So they do not arise at the same time. For example, eye sensitivity also. Eye consciousness rely on an eye sensitivity that already exists when it arises. Because without that, we cannot receive light, no? There must be some kind of material property there ready to receive the object that is already there, then eye consciousness can arise, right? Make sense? Because without an eye sensitivity, if the eye sensitivity born at the same time with the eye consciousness, then it cannot be. It must already be there in order to support the eye consciousness to arise, right? So usually this eye sensitivity or this sensitive matter and the object arise before the eye consciousness, before the consciousness. But only at this very special moment, rebirth moment, they arise at the same time, this heart base and chitta, Vipaka chitta. Yes, Sanda?
Yeah, so just to clarify, when you say at the conception moment, does that mean that when the sperm enters the egg?
Well, this is biological. The Buddha did not explain. He said rebirth moment. So when Patisandhi arise, I don't exactly know when Patisandhi arised, but that's for us to understand the moment, conception moment, then I put this graphic. But exactly, well, I think before the cell splits, or like I don't know how biologically how it works exactly. Because it is so fast, no one mind moment is so quick then that exact moment, in terms of like science or medical, how we understand, I cannot tell exactly.
So it is quite near to the cell splitting. I mean, when there are two cells, that moment already occurred or something like this.
Yeah, already, yeah. Okay. When it is splitting, that means that those Kamaja Rupa is already producing. No, they are already with more conditions. Okay. They're already like multiplying.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so shall we continue a little bit more with the Sahajāta? Okay, let's go. Now the next verse. Chitta sika dhamma chitta samutananam rupanam sahajata pachayena pachayo. Okay, chitta sika dhamma. We understand chitta and chitta sika dhamma. Chitta samutananam rupanam. That means the rupa that arise together with the chitta. What are they? Chitta jarupa, no? So chitta, the rupa that are produced by chitta, they arise together at the same time, right? So chitta sika dhamma, this chitta and chitta sika dhamma, and the chitta jarupa, they are related to each other by way of arising together, conascence condition. No? But you see here in this verse, there is no Aññamañña, right? So that means it is not mutually. So the Paccaya is the chitta and cettasika, and the Paccayupana is the chitta jarupa. It cannot flip place here because the chitta jarupa, mind-produced matter, is conditioned by the mind, right? Because it is produced by the mind, right? But the mind, the chitta itself, does not depend on the chitta jarupa to arise, right? So the chitta jarupa, the mind-produced matter, cannot condition the chitta itself. So here it is not Aññamañña, not mutual. Only the chitta and cettasika condition the chitta jarupa. So they are related to each other by way of arising together. Okay, so let's see. And also there are another point just to remind everyone, not all kinds of chitta produce chitta jarupa. No? There are some chitta that does not produce chitta jarupa. For example, the Dvipancha Vijnana, the 10 kind of five sense consciousness, they do not produce any kind of chitta jarupa because they are not strong enough, right? So most of the time, there must be some kind of janangas in the chitta for it to be strong enough to produce chitta jarupa. So not all chitta produce chitta jarupa. Okay, let's go to the next verse. It says, Mahabhuta upada rupanam sahajata pachayena pachayo. Okay, Mahabhuta, 4 great elements, are related to upada rupa. Upada rupa, what are they? They are in English translated as the dependent matter, no? This material property, they always arise depending on the 4 great element, right? So this dependent matter, although they arise together, they depend on the 4 great elements. So these 4 great elements, Mahabhuta and the upada rupa, dependent matter, they are related to each other by way of conascence condition. So they do arise together, but this matter depend on the 4 great element. Again, here is not Aññamañña. So these 4 great element, they mutually support each other, but they are conditioned for the Paccayupana, for this other matter to arise. These other matter are not conditioned for these 4 to arise. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next verse. Okay, it says Rupino Dhamma, Dhamma, matter, material property. So here we're talking about Kamaja Rupa, Arupinam Dhammanam, those Dhamma that are not Rupa. So that means Chitta and Cettasika, no? Kenchi Kale Sahajāta Paccayena Pachayo. Kenchi Kale Na Sahajāta Paccayena Pachayo. Kenchi Kale means sometimes. Then Sahajāta, that means that this Kamaja Rupa and the Chitta and Cettasika, sometimes they arise together. Sometimes Na Sahajāta, they do not arise together. So which time? So Patisandhi moment, this Kamajarupa and Chitta Chetasika, they arise together at the same time, right? But during lifetime, they do not arise at the same time, not all the time, right? You remember this Kamajarupa arise in every sub-moment, no? Mind has 3 moments: arising moment, existing moment, and passing moment, yeah? So in every sub-moment, Kamajarupa arise all the time, yeah? So Chitta and Chetasika and this Kamajarupa not necessarily arise together all the time, but only during the Patisandhi moment, they must arise together at the same time. But during lifetime, they do not. So therefore, this verse, it says, Rupino Dhamma Arupinam Dhammanam Kenchikale, sometimes Sahajāta Paccayena Paccayo. Sometimes they are related to each other by way of arising together. Kenchikale, sometimes they are related to each other, not by way of arising together. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay, so until here, we have finished and we've completed the verse of the Conascence condition, Sahajāta Paccaya. Okay, how is everyone? A lot of information, no? Okay, what should we do? Should we see one more or should we not? Let me see. Actually, the next one is, okay, let's look at this one also because it's very similar, because it's Aññamañña, mutuality conditioned. So it is very much related to the Sahajāta. In the Sahajāta, we also saw the Aññamañña, no? So it's easy to understand. Let's do last one, yeah? Okay, I'll finish this one also. Now, Aññamañña Paccayo, it means here the Paccaya is reciprocate with the Paccayupanna. They are mutually together, reciprocates. So now if we see the example, then it will be very clear. Now, Aññamañña is compared to where 3 sticks are put together like a tripod against each other. So if we put 3 sticks together, they stand, this tripod, it stands depending on each other. Now, one depend on the other, and the A, let's say A, B, C. A depend on B and C, and B also depend on A and C. So it is not possible to take out any, no? So because without any, it will all fall. So they support each other in this way. So not only one is important, all of them are important. So it's mutual. They are mutually supporting each other, mutual, Aññamañña. Okay, now in the same way we have seen in the Sahajāta, it's basically very similar. Here, the Paccayana Paccayupanna, in the first verse, it says, Chataro Kanda Arupino Aññamañña Paccayena Paccayo. The 4 immaterial aggregates, they are related to each other by mutual conditions. So mutual condition. That means Chitta and Chittasika, they are related to each other mutually. They are like the tripod. They support each other. In the same way we saw Sahajāta. So actually, this Sahajāta and Aññamañña, they are of the same group. Even with this, within these 24 conditions, some of them go in a group, and some of them, they do not combine with each other. No? So we see here in the same way, just like the other graphics, if we take Chitta to be the Paccaya, then Chettasikas are the Paccayupanna. If we take another Kanda, Vedana, to be Paccaya, then the other Chitta and other Chettasikas are the Paccayupanna. And if we take Sanya in the same way, then Chitta and other Chettasikas are the Paccayupanna. And it can flip place too, because it is, we're talking about mutual, no? Mutual, no? So imagine the tripod, no? Then here, let's say we have 4 sticks here. So these Chettasikas and this Chitta and this Vedana and Sanya, they arise together at the same time. They mutually support each other. So in this way, we understand this mutuality in Aññamañña Paccaya. So they are related in this kind of mutuality condition. Then in the same way, like the Sahajāta, Chataro Mahabhuta Aññamañña Paccayena Paccayo. The 4 great elements also, they are mutually supporting each other, right? So again, like the tripod, there are 4 of them. So we can understand it in different combinations. When this one is Paccaya, the other is Paccayupanna, like in the same way. Mutually support each other. Now, Okantekane nama rupam Aññamañña Paccayena Paccayo. Now here we'll see in graphic. In the Patisandi moment, 3 types of material property arise together. The heart decade, the body decade, and the gender decade. All this, for a human being, it does arise together at the same time. But here, since we are talking about mutuality, we do not have to include the body and the gender here. When we talk about this nama rupa, this rupa, specifically, it's about the heart base, because Patisandi, Chitta, does not have a mutual condition with this. So here we only take the heart base, no? Although here it simply say nama and rupa, but with our previous study in the Abhidhamma, we understand that why they related to each other in mutuality, because this Patisandhicitta needs this heart base for its arising. So therefore here in this case, they are mutual condition, nama and rupa at this moment. If we take Paccaya, Chitta, Cettasika, then Paccayuppana will be the heart decade. Then if we take heart decade to be the Paccaya, then Paccayuppana will be the Patisandhicitta. Right? So mutually, meaning that they can flip place actually. So the Paccaya support the Paccayuppana, but the Paccayuppana also support the Paccaya, no? So it can flip place and become Paccaya, become Paccayuppana, Paccayuppana becomes Paccaya, like that, no? In some places it cannot, it doesn't work that way, but in this condition it does. Okay, so I hope it's clear. It's a lot of information, but that this is just things that we have already learned previously, and we're putting them together and seeing it in a different angle of how they relate, how things relate to each other. I think this will also help us to deepen our understanding of previous chapter of the material that we have gone through. Okay, so I think it's already a lot. Then we will leave the next Paccaya, which is called the Nisaya Paccaya, dependence condition, for next session. Okay.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, maybe is there a significance in the order of the Paccayas? So maybe one is stronger or more significant. So is there any importance to the order? That the root condition is first, the Aramana is second, I don't remember. Adipati is the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then continuity is the fourth, and then
I think actually they work together. I do not know if I have to ask my teacher if the Buddha put it this way because of a specific reason, or he's just listing all the conditions, because they all work together. It's not like I don't think there is one condition that is especially more important than other ones, because they do not work alone. There is no one condition that is just this. No, for example, the Sahajāta and the Aññamañña, they work together, and there are some other we haven't seen, but they go to the same group. So the conditions, it's always like a combination. So it's not one cause and one effect. No, according to the Buddha's teaching, it's always many causes produce many effects. So I think, yeah, they all need to work together. It cannot be one that is more important than the other one. Because without any, then the effects will not come. No.
yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
so anyone wants to share how you feel so far about the Patana? It's everything okay? Are you understanding? Are we going too fast or too much information? Or yes, Sanda, please.
Yeah, for me, you know that we talked about going through this teaching through the Abhidhamma a few times until you can make sense of it. And I think today's lesson was kind of answer. I mean, you know a little bit and you put it together and it starts to make sense. And then when you revisit it, you know where it will make sense, and then you can invest even more to know the concepts better, because you know where they fit. And it's kind of a condition, mutually conditioned way of learning and making sense. Yeah, so it was a beautiful lesson for me today.
Great.
Because of that.
I'm
Thank you very
happy
much.
to hear.
And the Bali question and all the questions, they brought answers to me as well. So thank you all.
Yeah,
And
thank you so
very,
much.
very, very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very nice. Sometimes it's very satisfying when the things comes together, no? It's like we are doing a puzzle and now, okay, now we know what we are looking at, no? We're seeing the bigger picture. And but this really requires a lot of patience and persistence, no? Because until we come to this point, then we've gone through what, like 1 year or a half or something, like more over 1 year of things for accumulating all this information in order for it to make sense. Now we are looking at it, so it's very satisfying also. But yeah, so congratulations everyone, because we all went through all those previous time for getting all the information for this moment to arise. So if we gave up in the beginning, and I don't know what this is talking about, then we will not arrive to this moment. So it's also thanks to your effort, right? So very nice. Thank you so much for sharing, because this is I'm very, very happy to hear that, because now everything is making sense. No? Everything is coming together. Very nice. Thank you. Claudia, you wanted to say something?
They say that said sometimes seems that is not very clear, but then everything comes together. So now it starts to make sense. And sometimes I ask things that I don't remember or I didn't understand in the past. And when you repeat it, it comes clear. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the question, because sometimes when we have a question, maybe someone else is also thinking of the same thing. So if someone asks it, then we can all clear out some answers. So all questions are welcome. And as the Abhidhamma is a deep teaching, it's complex. It's not very complicated because it all makes sense. It's just complex. It has a lot of information. So one first round is not good enough to understand or to remember everything. Even for myself, I also thank every one of you because of this opportunity that I have to share this information with you, that I read again, or I have to go back to some notes that I have previously, and then sometimes I remember something that I don't remember. I have to call my teacher, right? So all this is a learning process also for everyone. So it's always, there is always something more in the Abhidhamma. We cannot say that I know, even if my teacher, he says that he knows just a little bit of the Abhidhamma, what can I say, right? So yeah, it is like that. So we have to spend time and go little by little, but deeper and deeper. So it's very nice. Thank you.
It's a very humbling experience.
It is, yeah. Well, the thing is, I think it's very right that the more we know that we don't know. Yeah. I think that's the right direction. If we think that, oh, yes, of course I know, then something's wrong. Yeah.
And
Yes,
it's a kind of letting go, the idea that because some say that you cannot pour anything into a cup that is already full. So yeah, we have to let go that idea that we do know.
Yeah.
We do know, actually.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes, very nice. Yeah, okay. So thank you very much, everyone. So if there is anyone else that wants to share something. Okay, so in that case, then we will close. Let's share merits and also dedicate our effort for the attainment of Magga and Phala wisdom. Okay. Itam no punyam Magga Phala Jnanasa Paccayyo hotu. Itam no punyam magaphalanyanasa pacheyo hotu. Itam no punyam magaphalanyanasa pacheyo hotu. Itam no punyam satanam bhajima. Itam no punyam satanam bhajima. Itam no punyam satanam bhajima. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
thank
good
you.
week.
Thank you.